So two heavily requested guides have been on how to efficiently farm AP and how to efficiently farm Noponstone. For those unaware, if you beat Future Connected, you get the ability to unlock level 12 art books for the cast in the main game by buying them with Noponstone through Time Attack mode. Each book costs 20,000 Noponstone though, which means it can be very difficult to get the required amount. Since arts go all the way to level 12 now, that also makes AP matter more than ever. I figure this makes both interconnected in a sense, so in this video I want to go over how to farm both of these the most efficient way possible. As always, there are spoilers on the 7th party member in this video, but if you're looking at a guide for how to get AP in the late game, I'd hope you'd know that. And if you enjoy my content and are looking forward to future guides on characters, please be sure to subscribe to the channel because it helps out a lot. So unless you plan to go for the Kill 5,000 Enemies achievement, which will give you more than enough AP than you will ever need in your life, I recommend getting AP up gems by killing Blizzard Belgasus over and over. The topple locking method in my previous video works pretty well for dispatching him. Equipping this on everyone will allow you to make the best use of your time when farming AP. If you do not get these gems, and that is okay, you can still do this and follow this guide, it'll just take a little bit longer. Regardless though, if you do this many times, you'll get more AP than you will ever need. I have 3.7 million on Ricky right now, and this is before I actually grinded the art books. And trust me, I still have over 3 million left after maxing all the arts out, so I definitely got far more than actually needed here, but regardless, you can see how effective it is if you plan on killing things a lot. So my go-to method for farming AP was heading over here to the Arachno feeding layer near Heaven's Window in Tephra Cave. I'd level down my party to about 90 for the characters I was using and about 85-ish for everyone else. And what you want to do is run all the way around in a circle here twice so you can aggro the extra little spiders out of the pod here. This will ensure you have as many enemies in the fight as possible. And once everyone is aggroed and near Shulk all in like a little circle over here, basically all you're going to want to do is stream edge all of them to instantly charge your talent gauge if you don't already have that up, and then use a chain attack. From there, I like to use Monado Cyclone and just some AoE. Then for Fiorzard, it doesn't matter. You can actually replace her with Ryan if you want to. And then after that, I'm going to use Soaring Tempest. And after that, you're going to kill nearly all of them, if not all of them already. Depending on your level, some might still be alive, and depending on your exact setup here. But regardless, as long as you have a little bit of setup on Dunban, and as long as he's using the Peerless Aura, make sure that's his only aura, you should be able to kill most of them. And after that, you should be able to go into another chain attack. You'll get a full bar of chain attack meter when you kill an enemy in a chain attack, and you'll be able to finish the remaining ones off and hopefully get your full bar back. From there, you'll have your full meter back for the next time you do the fight, and you can just head right back to the Arachno feeding layer and do it again. This is the highest concentration of high-level enemies I can think of in this game. You can also use this for SP farming if you want to just do both at the same time and don't want to get your SP earlier, because this is just as effective as that method on the Fallen Arm Beach that I was doing. Now, if you saw there, I was changing the time. The only reason I did that is because I was trying to get an achievement known as Happy New Year, which I actually have gotten now, which requires changing the time a bunch of times to essentially make it pass the time through the game. Now, once you're back to the Arachno feeding layer, you can just do it again. Run around in a circle twice to aggro all the pods and all the spiders, and once the spiders are hatched from the pods, you can just run around again to make sure they're going to be chasing you. And from there, you can start the fight. I usually like to start with Stream Edge, like I said, to break as many as possible and get my talent gauge back if I don't actually have all of it. And most of the time, it'll charge all of it. If it doesn't quite get all of it, then that's okay, because you can easily use an art that isn't Monado Cyclone in a chain attack if you really want to. As long as Soaring Tempest is pretty much just put Dunban on the third slot, Soaring Tempest will do a lot of damage in the chain attack. If you get a continuation on the chain attack, that's fine. You don't have to keep going. It might actually be better to stop the chain attack, because then you'll be able to chain attack again and use Soaring Tempest again on the third slot and kill the remaining enemies that are still alive. All in all, the only offensive setup I had on Dunban when I was doing this is, I think, an attack plus gem. It doesn't really matter all that much as long as you've got a good weapon and everything else is pretty good besides that. These enemies don't have a lot of HP, so the chain attack multiplier should be more than enough. So don't worry about trying to farm like an absolutely perfect setup to really take advantage of this. It should work fine. I did this a lot trying to get the 5,000 enemies achievement and the 2,000 burst affinity achievement. So like I said, if you plan on going for those achievements, you do not have to get the AP up gems, because I got way too much AP. You can also save and reload in the actual room, but then you lose all your party meters, so I usually just recommend skip traveling. I'm not really sure what to say about AP farming besides that. It really is just a matter of fighting as many high-level enemies as possible so you get as much AP as possible. It is worth noting that, yes, you do get more AP if you kill higher-level enemies, and the level advantage thing does play a factor into that, so make sure you are as close to the enemy level at the very least and a little bit under them, I would suggest. A lot of the spiders in this cave are level 95, so I'll get a pretty decent amount of AP. And it's also worth noting, if you kill them in the chain attack, you get more AP, so that is why I'm trying to kill them in chain attacks as well. There's 14 enemies total in this cave, and they're all level 90 plus, so they'll give a lot of AP for killing them. When I'm leveled down a little bit, I get over 1,000 AP per enemy, and when I'm level 93, I get like 874 per enemy. So you can see the rate of AP is actually really high here. And it does not take all that long to do, especially if you're just trying to get enough AP to max out all the arts. And if you have the AP up gems, you probably don't have to do this any more than an hour, maybe even less than that. All in all, it's a pretty simple but pretty effective strategy nonetheless. So now let's get into Noponstone farming. So for Noponstone farming, I actually do recommend trying to copy this setup I have here. You're going to want a super powerful Rhine. And in order to do that, you're going to want an attack plus, topple up, which increases damage on topple. It's not the duration topple gem. And back attack plus. Have strength up as well to have as much damage as you possibly can on him. And besides that, you want to have Sword Drive, Berserker, and Magnum Charge maxed out as much as you possibly can. And if you want to know where to get any of these gems, I think I explained that in my gem video. The reason for this is we're going to try to nuke an enemy with one art with Rhine, essentially. So how time attack mode works is if you beat a challenge, you get a certain amount of Noponstones depending on how well you did and depending on the difficulty of the challenge. Many of the challenges might end up taking a while, so even if you're doing a high-level challenge, it might not be the most efficient way to do it. So the most efficient method I have found is doing the challenge that you get from beating Future Connected. It's also worth noting you're going to want to remove the arts on Dunban and Shulk that I am, because you don't want them to be using it in battle, because it'll just waste time. You want them to just basically be augmented for breaking and toppling as fast as possible and using Peerless on Dunban. And like I said, Magnum Charge, Berserker, and Sword Drive need to be maxed out as much as you possibly can. Those are going to be very important to making sure this strategy works as effectively as possible. So another really good benefit about Challenge Mode is in addition to getting all of these level 5 or level 12 art books that allow you to get every single art to level 12, you can also buy the collectibles for Colony 6. Anything you get from an enemy drop or collected in the field for Colony 6, you can get from Challenge Mode if you are struggling with that. So no more struggling for the black liver beans or anything like that. And being able to buy all of these extra arts to make them as powerful as possible is pretty nice as well, if you ask me. And if you like fashion gear, I guess you can buy that stuff as well. You can also buy gems, but that stuff isn't really that important. So you can see when you buy one of the art books, you can get the further levels of the art as you see here. It is worth noting, if you buy these books, you don't have to hunt the advanced art books in the field. It'll automatically unlock every single level of the art, so it's very useful and actually much faster than getting the advanced art books as well. So with that done, what I recommend is going to the Future Connected level 80 challenge. The minimum you seem to get for this is 6,400 for getting just an S rank, no matter what. You can get 9,600 and 12,800, but the method for getting it is very inconsistent, and no one really knows exactly how it works yet. There are some challenges you can get more, like the restricted mode of the hardest challenge here, 16,800, but it also takes 5 minutes and 22 seconds. Whereas this level 80 mission takes me about 12 seconds on average. I actually got a time of about 10 seconds yesterday. So you can see just kind of the disparity here in how efficient it is to actually get some of these Noponstone. Like I said, I don't know what triggers getting the harder challenges. You would think getting more stars would, but that doesn't seem to make any difference. Some challenges where I applied more debuffs or got more stars, I literally get less Noponstone, so I have no idea what actually determines some of it sometimes. Regardless, you want to just do this challenge because it's really short if you know what you're doing. Essentially, I have Ryan outfitted in a way where Dunban's going to be hopefully taking the aggro off of him, even though Ryan's really good at having aggro. I'm just going to auto-attack as I'm walking around the enemy. And between auto-attacks, I'll activate Berserker. And then from there, once I get my full talent gauge, I will use Magnum Charge. And then once he's toppled, I'll make my way behind him if I'm not behind him already, if I accidentally took aggro, and then I will use Sword Drive. Now, from there, he should be almost dead, if not dead already. If he's not dead, you just need to hit him a couple more times, and he should end up dying. And if he is dead, then mission accomplished. Like I said, I have Ryan outfitted to do as much damage as he possibly can, and just be able to nuke this thing with one sword drive. The longest part is honestly just loading in and out of the mission. You will get at least 6,400 Noponstone every time you do this, because that seems to be the minimum for S rank, like I said. And sometimes you'll get 9,600, sometimes in 12,800. All in all, to get all of the level 12 art books, I think it took me about 5 hours, I want to say. Which is not that bad at all, considering it's every art in the game to the maximum level you can possibly get it to. It's honestly much quicker than hunting down all the advanced art books, and it's definitely a method I would recommend for trying to max out all the arts. It can get pretty monotonous at times, but at the very least, it's a very fast and effective method. And if you want to buy some other things with this makes it much easier to get the Colony 6 collectibles, or for getting all your favorite fashion gear and stuff like that. I honestly have only done all the other challenges like one time. I wouldn't even recommend doing them for grinding. They're all way slower. So, like I said, if he gets toppled in a correct spot, you can just pretty much nuke him from behind pretty much instantly. When I got further into this, I kind of set myself up to try to get some really fast times with this, so I was able to get some 10-second times, like I said. But that's not really that important. It's not really something you're going for speed. You're just trying to get as much Noponstone as you possibly can. And this method is really repeatable, really effective, and even if grinding for AP, SP, and Noponstone can be monotonous at times, it's actually still pretty fast compared to a lot of other grinding in different Xeno games. Love sources, as you all know, in Xenoblade 2 take forever to actually max out blades, and I don't even think I need to talk about Xenoblade X's level of grinding. I'm very happy they didn't make you actually have to do things for a very long time to do this. I've actually gotten all arts to level 12 and basically 100% of the game with all achievements at 122 hours, which is really not all that bad at all. Pretty much the only thing I have left is the Affinity Coins, which requires playing New Game Plus a bunch of times, and that's if I actually even feel like doing that, honestly. Regardless, I think that about covers it for how to get Noponstone and AP effectively in this game. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to get the AP gems, you can just farm them off of this thing. Make sure to save scum the treasure chest he drops so you make sure you get the right gems. And by that I mean if he drops a treasure chest, you can save right before picking it up, and if he gives you the wrong gems, you just reset the game and then pick up the treasure chest again until you get what you want. It's very easy to do. I hope you all learned something from watching this and will have a much easier time grinding later in the game. If you enjoyed this guide, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and look forward to the much-awaited character guides in a few days. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.